Hello everybody, welcome back to Evan Better Presents, and this is part 2 of 7 Days to Die Durability and Integrity tutorial video. So last video, part 1, if you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. Links on the screen. And that one will show you the different integrity of these, or I guess durability of these different blocks here when protected by a land claim block. This video is all about how far out you can build different items using different materials. Okay, so I've got just a general demonstration of the different distances before the items start to fall off. But this game, it calculates things in a different way than just that. As you can see here, you know, wood frames, this is as far out as I can go before all the wood frames collapse. And I'll demonstrate that right now. There you go. So I believe that was 6. Yeah, 6. Alright, so 6 wood frames before the wood frames themselves collapse. There's 2 parts to this, though. There's the structural integrity of the item itself attached at one point. So as you can see there, it's just attached to a 3-high block. That's how far I can go out with it before it collapses on its own, but there's a second part to it. It's how much weight can it support at those distances. Alright, so we're going to be showing that in a second. Okay, so we've got, you can go 6 out with wood frame before it collapses. You can go 6 out with concrete before it collapses. You can go 6 out with cobblestone before it collapses. 7 out with reinforced concrete before the block itself will collapse. There you go. Let's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Metal iron wall. I was actually surprised at this. Iron wall will do 15 or 16. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think it was very, like, sturdy. There you go. See, the block starts falling off. So we'll just, let's just do the entire, let's rebuild this whole thing here. There it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15, the 16th block falls off, as we saw already. Alright. Same story with metal trussing. 15 blocks out before it falls off. Now that seems, right there you'd think, oh, well I can build on top of this material 15 blocks out. That is not correct. As I mentioned before, these blocks also take into account the weight on top of them. Weight on top of blocks can be as simple as a player walking on it. So here, let's demonstrate that on wood frame. Okay, no problem. I can walk all the way out onto this. Let's try concrete. Also, no problem. I can walk all the way out onto the edge of this without it collapsing. I can even run on it. Cobblestone. Let's try out cobblestone. Running on cobblestone. Cobblestone doesn't collapse at its furthest point. Reinforced concrete. I'm a little surprised at that. I thought reinforced concrete would collapse. They do play... now remember, guys, this game is not a true physics-based game. These materials sometimes do act a little differently when you've put them off the side of a very tall skyscraper. All right, let's try iron wall. Yeah, there we go. Iron wall collapsed underneath us at 8 blocks. So yes, it can go out 15, but 8 blocks out, any weight on top of it will cause it to collapse. That's what I was trying to demonstrate. So let's just make sure that it's 8 blocks. Let's go out to the last block here and see what happens. Alright. So, understand that iron wall, yeah, you can stick it out 15 blocks on itself. And as long as you're not touching it, it won't collapse. But 8 blocks is its maximum distance with any kind of weight on it. Alright, now metal trussing is the strongest material in the game for structural integrity. Let's see how far out we can walk on it. And also 8 blocks. We can stick it out 15, but you can't walk past 8. Any weight on it past 8 causes it to collapse. Now there's one other little test I want to try here. So yeah, we've built it out 8, and now say we want to build on top of it. Let's put a block of reinforced concrete, a very dense, heavy material in the game. 2 blocks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's just stop at 30. So far it can support at least 30 blocks. Now let's stand on it and see if it can support us plus 30 blocks. And it can. Alright, so there you go. If you're building a structure, that's what you need to be using to be able to get it if you want to support it further out. Let's see if the other materials act the same way. This is iron wall. We already know that we can stick it out 15 blocks, but we can only support weight on it up to 8. Let's see how much weight it can support itself. Also 30 blocks. So there we go. We know that that material can support weight on itself up to its breaking point without any issue at all. One of the other ways to test this, and unfortunately I don't think you guys can actually do it, but in debug mode I can actually fly up through the material. If it collapsed, that would show that the structural integrity isn't really there. So as you can see here, 8 blocks out, this stuff will support weight. It doesn't matter the amount of weight. I guess that's important to know. Now, reinforced concrete, one of the more annoying materials in the game to make. As you know, it takes a long time. We were able to go 7 blocks out with this. Let's see how much weight it can support. Well, look at that. Nothing. It couldn't support anything. 1 block on top of it at 7 blocks out, the whole thing collapsed. Let's see just how many blocks out we can go before it would do that. So that was 7 blocks out. Let's try 6 blocks out. So this is 6 blocks in line with the other materials. I don't want the structure to be... There we go. Okay, so that was 7 blocks out and it collapsed. Let's try 6 blocks out. Okay, I can stand on it. No problem. No problem. No problem. Oh, broke my shit. So 6 blocks out, two blocks and it broke. Let's try 5 blocks out. All part of the job, ladies and gentlemen, all part of the job. Break your legs sometimes in the pursuit of knowledge. I'm really surprised I broke my leg. I shouldn't have broke my leg. So now we're only 5 blocks out. Let's see how much weight it can support. 1, 2... Oh, that time we got to 3 blocks out, didn't we? All right, let's try 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, as you get further and further out, you can support less and less weight with reinforced concrete. So that was 4 blocks. So let's try 3. 3, you should... I imagine you should be able to go all the way up with 3 blocks. I mean, that shouldn't collapse. But if the trend continues, it should be 5 blocks to make it collapse. Yep. So there you go, guys. The further you get out from a core of reinforced concrete, the less height you can build on it. So think of the distance as the same amount of distance. So 3 and 5 is 8. We were able to go out 8 blocks before it collapsed, right? You put any weight on it and it collapsed. So there you go. That's the way that reinforced concrete works. Let's see. It should behave exactly the same way. So that was 5 blocks up. So 6 blocks this time should make it collapse, right? If this trend continues. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 should make it collapse. And 6 makes it collapse. Alright, there we go. So there you go, guys. If you're going to use reinforced concrete for anything, you have to be aware of, the distance that it can place out, but you can't place any weight on top of it. You place weight on top of it, and it loses its structural integrity. So far, only iron wall and metal trussing are able to support any weight at their 8 block limit, but they can be built up to 15. So I'm assuming the trend will continue with cobblestone and the concrete and the wood frames, but let's just make sure. Let's test it out. So we know we can walk on it up to, what was this, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6. Reinforced concrete was 7. Okay, let's put some weight on it. And it collapses. Let's just make sure that wasn't just a one-off situation, right? Nope, it collapses. So let's try 5 out. And I imagine I'll get 2 blocks on it this time, if the trend continues. Yep. So there you go, guys. I don't think I need to do it the entire way. I think I proved right there that cobblestone and reinforced concrete behave the exact same way. So that's not necessarily to mean that all materials do, but those two definitely do. Let's try concrete. This is a basic version of reinforced concrete. It is not as strong. I doubt it's going to hold as much weight. This should make the whole thing collapse if this trend continues. Yep. So let's extend the concrete out 5. I should be able to do 2 blocks, right? Alright, so now we know, guys, that reinforced concrete, cobblestone, and regular concrete all behave the exact same way. Now we've got a tower of wood frames here. So let's see, wood frames, I'm out to 6 here. It's not collapsing, right? Let's put a block on it and see what happens. Boom, wood frames go down. But look at that, wood frames didn't go down to the post. They only lost 3. We only lost 3 of the integrity there. So let's put it back out 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 just collapses the 7, 8. There you go. So that one didn't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know 6 will support. Let's just make sure that wasn't just a one-off fluke. Actually, let's try a different material. Let's try another wood frame. Let's see what happens with the wood frame on top. Exactly the same thing, guys. So the weight doesn't make a difference. It's about the distance. So let's try 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, it does behave slightly differently than the other 2 materials, but let's make sure of that by continuing this experiment. 1 block. Ooh, at 5, wood frames can't even support 1 block. But we lost everything. Okay, so let's try 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. No weight on wood frames at 4 blocks. Let's try 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Three blocks. We're still stable. Can I step on it? Yep. 3 blocks out. Wood frames can support weight. Let's try 2 blocks. And the trend continues. It collapses. Alright, so let's try at 2 blocks out, and we'll see what we can get from 2 blocks with wood frames. Alright, let's try one last thing here. Let's try putting wood frames. What are we here? We're 2 off. Let's see how many wood frames we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go, guys. That's the distance of wood frames. 1 out, 1 up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be 6, right? There you go. The trend continues. So these items here can only really extend out so far. These 2, you can see here, you can support further distances with these items off of a central pillar. So what should we try next? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We know that 8 is the distance that can go. Let's try a few of these things. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so look, that's perfectly fine and nice and supported there. Nothing's collapsing. There's no issues. So there you are, guys. Off of a central reinforced concrete column, you can't do this. But off of, you're going to build a long tower and you want to have some surface area, you need to build it with metal trussing or iron wall. Okay? That is what you're going to have to do. As you can see here, that's 30 blocks high there. It's a lot of weight on each side. Now, I'm going to show you one more experiment before it gets too dark here, because I want you guys to understand that this stuff doesn't work the way you think it should work. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so this one goes out 8, and this one goes out 8. What do you think should happen? Everything should be fine, right? If I support on either of these two items, correct? Because that's what we just learned, that 8 and 8, it can be fine. All right. So the span, we've got a span of 16, 17, 18 if you count the posts. Let's see what happens when we add some weight to it, shall we? Sometimes this stuff behaves a little differently. 1, 2, 3. So wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we've already seen that at 8 it should be able to support the weight. Let's see how much weight. Okay, that side's fine. Everything seems fine there. Everything seems fine there. Let's try this side. Huh. Okay, I must have miscounted the first time I did this experiment because it couldn't support itself. But there you go. You can go for a span of 18, because it's 8 and 8, and then 1 and 1. You can go for a span of 18, guys, as long as you have adjoining legs. Alrighty? So there you go. I'm going to show you, for the end of this video, I'm just going to show you a couple of structures you can build if you follow these particular rules. These are some of the structures I found in the game, okay? So hold on a second. Most of you should be familiar with the admin tower by this point. I've put it in a couple of different videos. But this admin tower will give you an idea of just the kind of distances you can stretch with certain materials here. All right? There is no... the main core of this thing is all reinforced concrete, as you can see here, okay? The way this thing keeps its structural integrity is by keeping in with the rules of what reinforced concrete can do. All right, so look at it here, okay? We've got a corner piece, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really only 2 off center with a third piece in the middle, right? But to be able to go wider, and I can't place anything right now because I'm not friends with Squiddy at the moment, but to be able to go wider, guys, as we saw, reinforced concrete can't support its weight like upward if you're using it as a anchor material. So to be able to bring it out further, we needed to support the reinforced concrete with a metal trussing superstructure, which is, you can't really see it, but we're actually inside of metal trussing. So we know that metal trussing will go out 8 blocks, right? So let's just count that out. It'll be hard to do this, but basically 1... Oh, this is going to be impossible, actually. Let's just use our eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks, and nothing collapses. Alright, so now, knowing this thing here can actually go, what is that, 10 blocks out. And the reason for it being able to go 10 blocks out is because of this. And we'll take a look inside. That below us, it could do 9 blocks, right? Or 8. Well, because look, the metal trussing doesn't actually support the floor. It only stops right here. But if you go up to this one, the metal trussing actually supports the floor. So that means it can extend out another couple of blocks. In this case, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we could get 6, we could get 5 blocks here, 7 blocks here. But then how the hell is this thing sticking out so much further? Because this thing's another whole block further out. Well, we've got 5, 7. This structure is built. Ignore this. This wall was put in afterward. This is how this is able to do it. Metal trussing. We already know you can support weight on it up to 8 out. So here you are. We have a diameter at its edges of 8 off of center. So that is just a practical creation. And to show you just this surface area you can get, which is quite substantial. As you can see, that's quite a big surface area on a pillar of metal trussing. And the less metal trussing you use, the less, you can't go as far out. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so I hope all of this was very helpful to you guys, and you learned something here. Make sure you leave those likes if you did learn something about building structures today, the structural integrity of items, and the durability of blocks. So make sure you leave that love, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Evan Better Presents. Thanks for watching.